Okay, let's see if this works. I wonder if it's to do with when I get someone else on. Let me get Mando back on. Looks like this is working. Just reset like my whole router and everything. Video good, sound good. I just pinged Mando. Hopefully he comes back on. I don't know what was causing this. Yeah, I just don't know what was causing it. Basically just restarted my router, restarted everything. Now it all seems to be fine. Okay, but it looks like we're good, right? I don't want to... Should I post this in the Discord one more time? I guess I do. Let me stick it in. Michael's back. Okay. I think...
Yeah, you're much better now.
I think this is good. I just reset everything. Okay.
Are we going live?
Yeah, we're live. We're
already live. All right, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So should I just tell you what I've been fucking doing?
Yeah, why don't you tell me what you're doing?
All right, in crypto, I'm not looking at that much on the major side, just on chain, really. And out of everything in crypto, I think the strongest coin that probably everyone's heard of is Pump right now. I think it's having a nice little retrace here. But I've been thinking increasingly, like this whole trend that we've been seeing on CT has been just that I feel like CT is being eroded, and what's being left is almost like trading Twitter.
Yeah.
Do you kind of know what I'm saying? But like the tech has kind of happened now for crypto. We've got all the L1s. Now we're just putting tons of stuff on chain. And so what I'm now just starting to see is like, if you're a well-known trader, crypto's suddenly become this like arena again, I think. And it doesn't have to be like necessarily even new coins. Like I think you can kind of just be known as a trader in the arena here. So, and the more and more you think about that, the more and more you think about just the infrastructure around that. And that I think Pump will probably continue to be here with us for a long time.
Yeah.
So I like that. I think we've seen a rally again in the perp dexes. So Lit and Hyper both had okay weeks. I much prefer Pump as a story than either of those right now, just because I think on chain, I think it's going to be around for the next couple of months at the very least here.
Where do you think Pump can get to? Like, how do you think about it on a like multiple basis or?
I think that's the main error. I don't really look at it on a multiple basis because I think that like the supply is far looser. And I think when people say, "Oh, compare it to hype, it should be here," it's like that is what does your nuts. But do I think it can go between 3 and 4? Yes. 3 and 4 billion, that is. So I think like a 50% move roughly from here. Maybe over the next month. But so I don't think it's like happening straight away. But I think you got a decent shot of a move there. So of all the majors, that'd be the one or like the ones people have looked at. That'd be the one I quite like. I think your trade with Ponds is kind of like similar. It's like just the idea that on chain is heating up and you want to own coins. Well, you can go all the way down the spectrum, but Pump at 2-ish still feels like one of the best plays out here, particularly is because it seems like they're going to probably go down the FOMO route here and release perps and try and
do more,
maybe improve their product offering, because no one really uses pump the app, do they? I mean, I know like Mike Dudas does, but like no one really does. So, but maybe there's a chance that they can actually improve their product.
All the pump coins trade through pumps decks, right, rather than through Radium now. So they earn all those fees. So it's almost like, I mean, the launches or whatever, but it's just the continued volume that all this stuff keeps doing beyond the launches. And I guess if your viewers on chain takes off and the number of traders increases in the trenches and all that kind of stuff, and I think the thing that makes these guys the most money is when you have something that run to like 100 mil or $1 billion, because then the daily volumes are obviously huge. And they're actually printing fees, right?
Yeah, it's weird that in crypto, but like it's always very fragmented. It always feels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Uniswap's doing well right now, right? It hasn't just been this one unifying app where just everything happens. At least for DeFi, because obviously you have like Coinbase and Binance, and they did big success stories. But why Pump isn't just FOMO surprises me. Do you know what I mean? Like they could have easily made an app like that. They kind of went down the streaming route. It felt like, rather than just the social trading route. And now I think they've got a chance to like maybe improve their product offering, because they own the liquidity pools, they own the token creation. Why they can't own the actual app where it's traded seems not that hard a jump, does it?
Do you think they expand beyond just Solana as well? Because it's just,
that's been a weird one as well. Like they've been very narrow in some of this stuff. It's difficult to know, like this whole Berwick law case. Like there was this, the Shaw, what his name is, Eliza, that protocol guy. They settled this week. I don't really know where the case is against Pump, so maybe they're just like they've downplayed their product offering into that. But and I know they downsized the actual team itself as well. But I think. Basically, I think that I said it last week on the show, didn't I? When I came on, I was like, Pump was the right one. I think it was probably not that much higher. It's not that much higher now than where it was then.
Yeah,
because I think it was about 2.2, maybe or 2.1 area. So it's probably up like 10%. So it's not like been the most incredible call of all time, but my gut tells me that it can go a decent leg up. I see here. On majors, they all look okay. Like, interestingly, we've seen gold suddenly look strong again. So Bitcoin and gold kind of running together at the same time. ETH looks okay. They don't look bad. And we've started to see inflows again in the ETF. And that's kind of one of the main things I'm looking for a bottoming, like sustained, fairly aggressive inflows. At the moment, they still seem like slow and low, but they're definitely turning slightly better. And the fact that gold is rallying as well is a good sign. It's kind of strange though, because you've got like the Fed basically saying they may raise rates, and these are the things that seem to be the strongest.
Yeah, I don't want to pigeonhole myself into being one of those guys who's like, inflation, gonna hike rates, everything's going lower. I don't want to be that guy, but just this time of year, September, there's probably going to be a hike. People are worried about it. Like 30-year rates are fucking through the roof. Inflation data is strong. Like, oil's been lower for the last month or so, which is good. But, if that kicks off again, then I think, and it persists, then I think stuff does start to move a bit lower. But I don't, like if you think about because stocks are basically at all-time highs, right? And you think about when they break out of all-time highs, there's always like some sort of narrative that pushes it over. And I think for a while we had really just the AI trade for most of this year. And now there's been, I don't think anyone doubts the AI trade, but I think people doubt the way to express the AI trade, and maybe certain bottlenecks no longer being bottlenecks or things improving, etc. So that kind of impacts the stock market, because it's like, all this shit that I thought was like one for one versus for AI advancement isn't necessarily now one for one, and is also quite cyclical. So it's just a bit of a, for NASDAQ to get through all-time highs and then go to like 33K, 35K, it sort of feels like you need, I think, a bit more clarity on the macro front, whether it's like, okay, hey, we hiked and now we're not going to hike again for ages. That's like a really bullish outcome, I think, and you buy that dip. But if it's like, oh, hey, we hike and we're gonna like keep hiking, or something like that. It kind of it changes the story quite substantially, I think. So I don't know. It just so it feels uncertain, and because it feels uncertain, it doesn't feel like the time to just be max long risk, at least in stocks. And I think crypto is really its own thing now. And I think in the last few weeks and months, almost has sort of displayed um, some what's the right word?
It's outperformed,
It's
basically.
outperformed. Yeah, exactly. Insulated. It's a bit insulated from what's going on in stocks.
I think we're going to be in that world forever, though. Now, or not forever, but for the Warsh's term, he feels like
Yeah,
he wants to be a little bit of a flirt, doesn't
a
he? He's
little
like,
bit
oh,
of
maybe I'll raise rates, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Like I feel uncertainty in monetary policy is going to be there now for a bit.
Yeah.
So to have to get kind of used to the vol going higher. Vol in markets just seems high this year.
Yeah, it is.
In general,
It's really high. It's really high.
I don't know if it's just that we're tracking this stuff, but
that's the other thing. I just feel like, again, there's more to the stock market than just memory names and AI names, but the vol on that stuff has been mental. It's like 20, 30% swings. Obviously, look at all the shit that's going on in Korea. Like Korea, if you think US stocks can't catch a bid, just look at Korea. Like you'll have days when like all the AI stocks in the US are up 20%. Korea opens, it's like up 3%, and then it's like what the hell's going on there?
no,
Like,
I'm in it.
yeah, what are these
I'm in it,
lads
brother.
doing? I almost would rather deploy there because I think that's really outperformed. Like SK Hynix has underperformed so much versus the other memory stocks.
So that is, I mean,
Let's
so the reason why I'm looking at vol is because I trade bots now, so I trade volatility bots, and you can kind of, when you look through the 30-day vol on some of these things, Korean stocks, memory in general is just unbelievably high. It's way higher. Like, let me just bring up I'll just for a like comparison on a 1 day of Bitcoin.
You want to bring that up?
Versus SK Hynix. Wow. Can I share my screen, can't
I? No. I need to do it, but I can do it. This is Bitcoin versus SK Hynix on the 1 day.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it on a vol perspective.
Oh, I see.
And if you look at the vol comparison, SK Hynix is about 6 times more volatile than Bitcoin, which is wild.
Yeah.
And points to kind of everything. Like we've gone through this period of Bitcoin volatility being relatively low. I think it's probably similar to so gold has got higher volatility than Bitcoin over the last 30 days.
Look at these. I don't know if you can see the stream, but look at these. If you load up and kick maybe, but look at these red candles here on SK Hynix. It's like, in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In the last 8 days, where US memory stocks have had up days, they've had SK Hynix had 1 green day, which which closed massively off the highs, and then just like red candle, red candle, red candle. Like it just cannot catch a bid. And
yeah, so it's down 10% this week, I think.
Yeah,
or about that.
And it's down a crazy amount. I mean the amount is down it's underperformed the US by a massive amount. So but I guess what I was trying to say is when you're having these 20-30% swings on a weekly basis in these stocks, it kind of feels like to me and then the S&P 500 just sitting there at all-time highs chilling while you have all this other uncertainty. It kind of feels like to me, is this stuff like a leading indicator for situational awareness blow up? There's probably a couple of other guys. You know what it means? It's never just like one blow up and then it's all fine. There's always there's always people floating around in the sea next to you, kind of thing. So,
well, I think Korea's had a very public blow up from all the leverage retail accounts that kind of came in and did it. I like those stories, but I think I like them from a vol perspective, as I said before. Like that's what I was basically saying. I'm looking at them, and I put out a couple of tweets about it this week about I've got some grid bots around them because the vol is just insane. And if they just kind of stay, if you think the lows are probably in,
Yeah.
Like, let's say it's probably 950 is the low. Or I'm looking at maybe I'm looking at a different price, but then it feels like it's probably got it's going to consolidate, just go bash, 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 just like absolutely swinging. It's clear as well that like crypto is where people short it as well. Like
Yes.
the open interest on this stuff, like it's been going so much higher as it dropped, and the funding is like massively negative. So it's kind of funny to see that this is like where you can easily hedge this exposure for Koreans as well, which I think leads to even more volatility on the way up and down. But I've been looking at that. To be honest, my stock portfolio pretty concentrated. I've got a big position in Eli Lilly again, which I liked, and Palantir.
How did that do after numbers? Is that up after numbers or?
It's up marginally. Palantir had a very big week. Palantir's up about 40% this week.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that was a big move. It's up again today, about another 7%. Eli Lilly's been what was up on the week? 2 or 3%. So it had really good earnings, but just didn't really move. But I like that story. And I think that's just like a long-term cook. Are you going to get on Retta? Are you going to be a Retta guy?
I don't feel like I need Retta. Like the only type of people who I know who are on peptides are people who are too fat, who need to try and lose weight, or people who've never been able to like get ripped to put on muscle. I think there's the third type of person, which is probably the person who's supposed to be taking it, where it's like you're a prime athlete and you're trying to get that extra 10%. But I just don't feel like I need
I think a lot of people are going to do that, basically, because Retta is slightly different, right? It actually improves muscle building at the same time.
Right.
So I think or at least it doesn't cause muscle wastage.
Yeah.
As well as losing body fat. So I feel like it's going to be one of these ones where a lot of people use it, and for all different forms of medical diseases, it seems like it could be a big drug. But then I like the AI angle for Lilly as well, because they basically host the model for drug discovery, AI drug discovery, that is. So a lot of people use their model for their own research, and they keep all the data. So they're like the open AI, basically, of pharma, which I think puts them in like a really strong position.
Sure.
But so I like those two positions. And other than that, I own SK Hynix in this volatility bot. I own Lilly, and I own.
Can you have volatility bots, by the way, which everyone's really interested in? I guess no one wouldn't be when you just post like big P&L numbers, but can you express like the bearish version of that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, you could just have a short bot.
Just have a short bot, right? And
exactly the same.
So sell strength, basically.
Yeah, so naturally these things are always buying low and selling high. So like whatever direction the bot is, but it starts with a short position if you put on a short.
So that's your base position, basically.
Yeah, so like you're getting more short as it goes up, or you're selling your position if you put on a long bot. So, but I've tended to find it's basically improved my win ratio, because you know how I trade. Like I have very concentrated positions, which are often at like crucial points. So it's like when they're about to break out, which normally means that your win ratio is pretty low.
Yeah.
But the ones that you win, they go
big.
Yeah, they go big, because you're really picking points of high upside volatility or high downside volatility. This has actually improved my win ratio to, I think, over 50% now.
Wow.
In terms of trades, which for my strategy is very nice. Now, there's obviously blind spots there, like you're using leverage. You need to make sure you're using stop losses. I still think you have to have a high bar for when you're doing them. But just in terms of how I've traded, it has shifted that win ratio quite a bit in my favor. Often it's just for those trades where I'm wrong. Often the volatility just means that you kind of end up flat. Like normally, let's say I have a stop loss 10% lower. Like, okay, if this doesn't break out and it breaks back down, I'm out. But normally, because in the vol of that, it normally makes about 10%, so you get insulated from the smaller losses more than anything.
I think I would have made more money had I been using these bots in the last month or so, because I think the problem that I've had is I've picked good longs that have gone higher, but I haven't taken profits, or I've been playing them into an event where if I took the profits like just a little bit before the event, I would have made a lot of money, and then I wait for the event doesn't work out the right way, and then this feels like you're naturally just churning over that risk, and I haven't really done that well, I think, which I think is also just sort of like a sign of the market. I think this market right now, if you make profit, you're going to take it and keep.
That's it. It's slightly different. It's a slightly different model in that you can kind of let them run for a little bit longer, and feel okay about it. You can almost let them play out. Like they can either hit your take profit target or your stop loss, and you can just wait and see. So sometimes I just kind of like that. I still do tinker, but I've actually taken to only trading in a 1 hour period each day these days, because I tended to find my tinkering was actually costing me money. So between 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. London time, I basically I'll do all my trades.
Yeah.
And then because that's kind of just before the US Open, and I tend to find that's like a good time to put on some trades. And if not, then I just tend to find that, like you said, like it's up on the screen and I'm doing stuff. Whereas this kind of does that for me. Like it's trading for you. It's selling a little bit as it goes high. It's buying a little bit as it goes lower, and you're really just taking a view. So, which I tend to find actually a lot of people in crypto are good at.
Yeah.
A lot of people in crypto are good at expressing a view and like knowing what's going to be a mover. They suck at the exit, or they suck at the exit, and also maybe the timing of stuff. Like sometimes they're like too early and they get bored and they'll cut it, and then the thing will move.
Yeah.
So often this allows me just to like set and forget, let it play out somewhat, and I'm always picking spots where volatility is generally going to be high. So it's like, is this going to break out to a new all-time high or not? Is this like a massive bottom after a deep sell-off? Because in those moments, the next few days are always going to be volatile. Like if something breaks out to an all-time high, it's going to start going boom, 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 boom. And if it's like a really deep bottom, like it can go up like 10% in a candle, then down 5% in the next candle. It's like, that's why these Korean names are quite good for it, because it's like,
it's just whipping around. Yeah,
it just whips around. And yet actually, if you look at SK Hynix, it's kind of down like 2 or 3% from where it was when I was looking at it this morning, but it's had like it moved 6% in an hour. So you really captured.
So you're doing are you doing it on equity perps, I guess, right?
Right. I'm doing it on, which I don't think
quite high, not quite high on them.
The funding is pretty good in general. Like I generally trade on Pinex, where the funding is basically mirrors Binance's funding. Pinex is essentially a Binance market maker, which has built their own exchange.
Yeah.
And so the funding is pretty good. And for Korean names in particular, they're normally negative funding.
That's good. Because
most people are shorting them. So you can get you're normally actually compounding that. But it does mean that my trading volume is obscene.
Yeah.
Because I sit there and I don't even know what it is. I only put on the notional of the bot, but I've been looking at it recently and I sent it to you. Like I've done $240 million of trading volume in the last month.
Yeah, that's mental, isn't
imagine if you were just doing that on purpose by yourself. But I can just sit there and it's almost like it cures the ADHD of sitting in front of your desk.
Yeah. I would like to, because my stock positions are actually on Interactive Brokers. I just looked up if they have trading bots or not, grid bots, and they don't. And it feels like something specific to crypto exchanges.
Well, perps are very specific to crypto exchanges. So the idea of you having bots like that, they don't really have. Only really you'll see it from crypto exchanges, and I think it's great because if you can use these bots for equities right now, you basically become a market maker. You're a market maker for these, basically. And imagine if you were the market maker of SK Hynix this year. Like,
yeah, you'd be killing it. You just
right.
And it takes the emotions and thought out of it, right? Because it's just
It takes a lot of the risk out of it. You still can take a directional view, and like you still can get liquidated, or you still have to know your stop loss and like, are you going long, are you going short? But you can be wrong and still just be right, like, or still make money.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, which is what we know for traders. Like, imagine the guy who the guy who traded Turkey when fucking Erdogan's like doing something. You're like, that market maker is going to make an absolute killing, whatever happens. He could have the wrong positions and still make 50, 100 million that year because the trading P&L is just insane in that vol. So it kind of allows you to focus your book on where the vol is in global markets, which I like.
Yeah. Do you want to? So Tom Wilden said he was aware that you're on the show, and he's been thinking of some questions after consuming a lot of your content recently. So I just wanted to. He's a very avid listener. He's basically been on all the Rekt weeklies and all these dailies. So I want to give him a chance to answer his questions, which I think are actually good questions as well, worth asking. So
what about on the Kick? I'm on the Kick as well.
These are from X, but yeah, if you guys are on Kick, Twitch, YouTube Live, we're all on there now that my internet's
all right
fixed. But his first question is the idea of creator coins feels left curved and way easier than the launchpad thesis. It's more of an infrastructure play in many ways, and the variables are more limited in creator coins. Thoughts on that?
I think they are a very small subset of the market right now, and I think they're slightly different in that I think they're kind of also memes at the same time. So they're like that's why I can slightly work. I don't know if like the pump fund coins we spoke about last week, like Razmir or Gainsey, really will work as well. But I think these sort of stories can work. And yeah, I think I still think that if Bitcoin goes a lot higher, Anson will go a lot higher. And there will be, going back to that original point where I do think that CT is going to be, over the next 3 years, I reckon CT essentially just becomes trading Twitter. Trading Twitter because you can trade anything. Like, look at what I'm trading right now. I could really be on FinTwit if I wanted to, but you're really just able to trade everything on your exchanges. So, and I think that's going to attract traders with the idea of building like coins attached to them or something along those lines. So I kind of think that the crop is quite nice right now. You've got that'll be the people that get attracted to this sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. I think a good point on that is I do think it's limited. Like, we've had creator coins in the past, but I think people have just been bad actors. And then now there's maybe a handful of them where you actually have good actors or people who have been in crypto for a long time who I think are doing the right thing. And to his point, the variables are much more limited and the choices are much more limited too. And it's not like you can't really get vamped, right? No one can say, oh, I'm now going to create an even more epic duck coin, or I'm going to now create a new OV coin or a new Ansem coin, right? That can't happen. And I think as we've seen with the launch pads, right, like, a new one comes, like if Pump Fund enters Robinhood, then yeah, Pons is going to sell off again, but you don't get that same impact with creator coins. Now, maybe they're a bit less volatile as a result, and volatility in Rekt has been very low. Epic Ducks obviously moved around quite a bit, but eventually I guess it will find a range. Anthem's been in a range for a long time as well, so I guess it means you get the believers who get stuck in it. But yeah. Next question. His next question is: have you, Amanda, thought of doing an academy within knowledge of trading? Listening to Amanda's recent In the Trenches episode with Mkts was fantastic. Would you ever do a course?
Nah, I don't think I'll be doing a course, lads. I may cook myself up to Rekt Mkts. We've been thinking about ways to do that. And I think this bot way of trading, like you can copy trade potentially, doing that. So
just parameters, right? You put in the same parameters and then.
Yeah, but I think because you're doing it via exchanges, people can literally copy trade the portfolio. So there may be something there. Some people have approached me about doing it in a decentralized way, like on top of Hyperliquid, which may be interesting too. But I don't. I guess I could teach this sort of stuff, but I don't even know it myself. Like there's, for better or for worse, there's that Epstein video going around, which is like you ask traders how they make money, they don't really know. Like there is just an instinct about this sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
I agree.
If I was to actually break it down, I follow trends, and I have a very high filtering process of the ones that I look at, and then just the gut about this is the right one or this isn't the right one.
Yeah.
That
I
I don't
don't
even know how you teach that. It just feels like second nature to me now.
I don't know how I'd ever do a course other than real basic things like take profits and stuff. But it is even like, you know, when you think about take profits, our biggest wins have been when we've run up things to crazy levels where we should have taken profits hundreds of percent ago, and we never did. So it's like, how do you teach that? You can't. And I think a lot of it is luck. I do genuinely believe a lot of it is luck, but it's just like, it's just gut. I think a lot of it is gut. And I actually do believe you can have good gut and bad gut in trading. You know, some people just have a really good touch on things, which is subconscious, it's intangible, and maybe it's built over time by building a data bank of data points in your balls. But that's, you know, you can't teach that, can you? There's no like, why did he buy that? I just think it's going to go higher. Like,
one thing I think you get very good at is knowing when it feels like this is the moment.
yeah,
Like, I don't know how to describe, and that can involve like the market moving, like, oh, this is the day where right, everything's going to turn, and this you need to like switch your portfolio, and it can be like this is the right trade for you to do in that moment.
Yeah,
there was a moment, where was it? Like a few, maybe a week or two ago, when there was that screenshot of that guy who lost like 20 million, 26 million down to like 3 million. And Micron was at like 720. And it was just like, and then Leopold comes in and is getting liquidated. And you're just like, this is the day. Like this is the moment. It was to be fair, it was the day before all that stuff happened. And I put on some trades that day, and I can't even tell you why I felt like that, but it just felt like the day. And the next day, Leopold came up, and they ended up being great trades. That's not to say that's not like a boasting story. It's just like you do just have this innate feeling of just like, right, things have gone too far here, and once you've seen enough days in the market like that, you kind of realize when things have gone too far. And then the other one is just like knowing when to get in and out of stuff. Sometimes you can have a really good system, but even on that rare occasion, you're like, fuck no, this is the moment. This is the moment that you need to fucking change everything.
it's, you know, it's that day when you just sell everything, right? And you're like,
right.
You're like, why'd you sell everything? It's like, I don't know, just fucking. The number of times I've done that, and then like you have the like horrific crashes afterwards, and I'm like, I have no idea why, but you just get that again. You get that feeling, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I do that a lot. I genuinely do that a lot. Like, the amount of time I'll just be like, I don't have a lot of confidence in the book. I'm closing everything, because sometimes there'll be shorts and longs together, and I really just like to focus on the top position. And if I lose some of that top position, then it's better to not hold on. It's better just to cut and be like, right, let's reassess the situation, even if it's in 24 hours, because my threshold for a big trade is very, very high. So if I feel as though that trade is not there, it's not like a 10 out of 10 anymore, why be in it? One comes every couple of weeks. So you might as well just wait for the 10 out of 10 trade rather than staying in 5 out of 10s or 6 out of 10s. So it'd be weird to do a course, because I'd just be like, I'd just be talking about that sort of stuff. And I do think trading alongside someone has really helped me always throughout my career, because I've always traded on desks, or I've traded with you, or I've traded with Cowley. And I've always traded best when there's like a brain trust, when you can talk to somebody else about your risk. So I think someone like Rekt Mkts is good, because you kind of have the group chat and everyone's kind of making trades. But
it is good. I've got to say, the group chat, you haven't been in the group chat, but the banter in the Rekt Mkts Pro group chat has really been off the charts. I've had a good time this week, and I think I might end up slightly down on the week. It's not been too bad, but on the bad days when, you know, days when like Pons has just been fucking puking. It's been great. It's been great banter in the chat for sure.
Is there a Pons channel at the moment?
There's no Pons channel, but we do have a Pons tracker on on the Rekt Mkts Pro feature. It's not called Robinhood Launchpad. It's just called Pons tracker. It only shows like stats on Pons and then some like some comparisons. But
the tweet that you put out yesterday, we're like, well, he follows him and he follows him.
Honestly, after I wrote that, I was like, and then the comments, like people saying, "You must have a really big bag of Pons, bro." So I haven't seen you talk about anything like this in a long time. I was like,
this guy's gone off the deep end here.
Yeah, full community member.
I knew you'd do that though. That's always how you've been as a trader. That you go.
I told myself I wouldn't do it as well. This time, I really told myself. I was like, "Look,
oh yeah, I'm not going to do it."
I literally told myself I'm going to trade. I'm going to take profits. I'm just going to, not get. I'm too sensitive and emotional where I just get into this stuff. And then like cash cat all the way to 280 mil. What did I do? Take absolutely zero profits, full round trip. Pons like sitting on a 5x. What did I do? Zero profits. Actually averaged up. It's like I just didn't do anything I was going to say. And because I just find things, it's like when it goes up, it's like, oh yeah, but the story's changed now because like this thing and this thing. Yeah, exactly.
Vlad's following.
Oh, fucking hell. At least I see the funny side of it, but
look, CT always makes everyone look like a hero. Like no doubt about it. People, I think one thing you will get with Rekt Mkts is complete honesty about what the fuck's going on, which no one will really give you. Which is what I quite like about this. Like our track record. We have a very good track record, but some days I'm a shit trader. I'm like, God, what was I doing? Like that was just a dumb process, weak execution. Like what was he doing? And that is going to be very exposed through a platform like this.
Clip that. Clip that. That was a good clip.
Yeah, but you've been up, like you said, you were up 5x.
Yeah,
5x on both of those trades, and they're public round trips right there, which is quite cool to see, at least on Rekt Mkts. So
I've got one more question from Tom, which I thought is another good question, which I think you'll like to answer. So he says, we have quite different trading styles actually, which we've kind of touched on a bit. He says, OSF likes to buy pain, Mando likes to buy breakouts due to the less limited upside. What was it like working together? Did your trading styles complement each other?
We used to trade a different product to this, to be honest. So we used to trade bonds, and they have a pull to par. So the volatility is much lower, much lower.
But
so
CDS, CDS is very different though.
Yeah, I guess that has some volatility, but you don't buy breakouts. It's slightly different. Nothing's really hitting all-time highs. We used to trade basically bonds of companies that are about to default. So you're really just you're always buying lows and hoping that they're going to go high. So OSF has basically replicated that trading style in crypto, which is a trading style and you can easily make money from it. I have adopted a slightly different one, which is like, and I don't even know if you're often early or you're buying, let's say, value. I am not so much early anymore because I just don't have the time to be. And I'm normally just looking for things that are about to break out to all-time highs. So they are different styles. If we were to have a portfolio, if we were to have a book together, I think it would be quite good because we'd actually be probably in very different things.
Complementary.
And that would create money both ways. But yeah, in crypto, we've been early to things at the same time, but probably for 2 years now, we've traded very differently.
Yeah, I think the stuff that I've made money on has just been like buying random shit early and stuff like Pons, I guess, where it's like, really low market cap. Everyone's just like, what the fuck are you doing? And then it ends up, you do lots of them, you lose money on lots of them, and then you have one that works and you make a lot of money on it. I think for you've made a lot of money on going in with size on stuff where it's like the probability of it playing out is much higher, if that makes sense, I guess. Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah. I think people even forget. So even in both of the trades that we made money on, you minted Bored Apes and then sold them. I bought them 3 months later in massive size.
Yeah, like 10x
right?
the price
And then
of where I sold them at. Yeah.
Right. Pepe, you were in basically at the beginning of Pepe.
Yeah.
I then went in massive size
Yeah.
at around, I think it was about 50 to 100 million.
Yeah.
And then that's always been kind of how we are. Like, you always are early and then try and tell me to get into something. And then I'll eventually decide that it was the right trade and either go in very big.
Yeah.
So even when we were trading together, I was, you're always very early. You pick up trends. You're kind of in the group chats. You're far more, like I said, I just look at charts for 1 hour a day and then I make my trades. I feel like you're, as most people in the Rekt community know, like you're fucking on your computer, ready to go at all times. Like you're in every group chat, ready to go. So you see these things as they happen, and I just don't. So I just pick up on them late.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I think they're two very different trading styles. I would like to do more of I feel like with my style, it only really works right at the beginning of a bull market. You know what I mean? Like you can't do it for all the full year round all the time, whereas you can with other styles. I guess it's one of the reasons why starting up Rekt markets and doing all this stuff now, because it feels like that 2023 period where I think I'm convinced that in between now and the end of the year there either are coins or narratives that exist, or there will be that will be like the next Pepes and the next Whiffs and the next Bonks and the next Solanas and all that kind of stuff. And I still feel like Robinhood is, from everything that I've seen this year and even all of last year, it's the first thing where I feel like it has the potential narrative and legs to do that. And I just think, the highest market cap coin in Robinhood is $90 million, which is cash cat. And then the rest of it is like 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, right? It just would not surprise me if we were sitting here in December and all that shit is in the hundreds of millions. Maybe if you have a really hot market, there's something in the billions, but and then people will be like, oh man, that was so obvious. That people will be tweeting like, you had 3 months to buy Robinhood coins under, at like a $10 million market cap and you didn't do it. It's tough to decide what coins they will be, and those coins may change as we've seen the top 3 and top 5 keep changing all the time. But you just have to be, if you're in it, then you'll know what to buy when it comes. I think that's kind of how I. It's kind of how I am.
So, yeah, I think you're right. I think Robinhood's an interesting ecosystem. Like I said, I think I'm still on the fence about like the new meta concept, because I kind of also just think that like everything's going on chain. So it's really just going to be a trading environment now, rather than like, oh, we need to create some new thing that makes crypto interesting. Now it's just like, it's just the arena for traders.
Yeah.
So I think you can make money on so many different things suddenly in crypto, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like no one else, only on crypto can you trade equity grid bots on futures, right? This is the only place you can do it right now. So, or you're a market maker with software. So for a retail person, I just think that, there's so many different ways to make money right now, which I think is cool. I think it's really cool.
Anything else to chat about?
People ask some questions. What do they say?
That hasn't really.
Do you need a sizable portfolio for grid bots, or is this something you can experiment? You can experiment with small size. You can easily experiment with small size. In fact, I would encourage you to experiment with small size to begin with, because you'll get a sense of the return. There's a lot of different variables to put in. You need to decide the range, so the bottom price and the top price you want the bot to go, the leverage, that will affect your liquidation price. You need to affect the number of actual
how much how much leverage do you usually use?
5x, but you don't. That normally means that at the origin, that's only 5x right at the bottom of the range.
Right. Okay.
So let's say it's between 1,000 and 2,000, and it's at 1,500. It would only hit the 5x leverage right at the bottom of the range.
Right. Okay.
So that's why your liquidation price is normally like roughly 20% below that bottom price, you know. And then you have to set the number of like actual orders in that range. So that'll define like your trading, the amount that you trade in that range. And then what other things are you doing? Yeah, like the way that those orders are set up. There's like a bunch of different things you can set up. But I use AI. Like I said, I use AI a lot to do the execution now. It's one thing I would recommend for you as well.
Yeah.
Like, you're very good at picking stuff. If you're saying that again, you're not that good at the execution.
Bad at monetizing it. Yeah.
I do AI for all of my execution now. So because it sets it. I say, look,
So
I want
to
to
just
have
ask
a grip
it
bot.
the levels, and do you give it the data and say what levels do I put, where should I take off, and all that kind of stuff, basically.
Yeah, because for these grid bots, there's a lot of like different parameters, and I go like, right, set it for me. I think this is long. I like the volatility. Let's say set the range, and then it will set the stop loss, the take profit level, everything. So I think I guess for you it's slightly different because something's really early. But even then, it might help just to have someone go like, right, now set all the levels.
No, I mean, like outside of the early stuff, I have been trading stocks. I've been trading stuff like Micron and all that shit. Right, that's very different. That is trading the vol, and I think I've been good at finding the points to go long, but I just haven't. I've made money on it, but I could have made a lot more money on it than I have done. And I think, given the volatility, if I had grid bots on that stuff set up, I definitely would have made a lot more. So,
yeah. Oh, you would have crushed it.
Yeah.
I feel like you were very early to that bit as well. Like you were early to the memory.
I mean, I did buy. May is when I started, and I did quite well at the beginning. I did very well at the beginning, but then I just let it go. I just I got caught on that big move lower, the first big move lower, and then just gave it all up really. But yeah, before I started Rekt Mkts, I was up a lot, and then I just I just didn't do well in taking profits. So, I mean, I guess you could theoretically just make your own grid bots, couldn't you? Like have a bot that trades it on stocks.
You can, and this is why people have done it on Hyperliquid. Like you could do a script for it where you set limit orders essentially. But they have to be continually dynamic. So like when one is hit,
they have to update.
You're constantly replacing them.
Yeah.
Whereas, and that I think requires. I don't know, but like the script would have to be like dynamic. It's not just like you set the levels and forget.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to do it outside of like some preset software. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because I think you'd like make a mistake or something like that. Fuck it up. But so I quite like doing it through these centralized exchanges because they have all the systems set up. But yeah, people have said you can do it on Hyperliquid. A few different people have reached out about doing it like that. Should be cool. I do think it'll be like one of the main ways that people trade, genuinely. A lot of people use LPs, right? But the difficulty about LPs is that, particularly with Uniswap v4, is that when something moves to the bottom of the range, you basically end up with the crap thing. You know? It's like, oh, I put on this meme coin versus Solana LP, and then it goes down to the bottom. All you have is the meme coin left, and it drops 30%. You're like, well, this was terrible.
Yeah.
This is different because it's not an LP. It's just order levels. So it's just cash.
Yeah.
If it goes below your level, you just end up with cash. So I think it's the idea of LPs being done this way. I think is really good too.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to look into it. I wonder if I can. I mean, you can build anything these days, but I kind of prefer to use an exchange product than rely on something that I've vibe coded. But I'll look into it. It would be great.
Yeah.
I just checked. I mean, they don't have this product for interactive brokers. I don't think that's something that really exists for stocks, but it should do. It's so liquid. I don't see.
I think just the perp is only really. I don't know which Does Interactive Broker have perps? Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I mean, you can trade things on margin, but it's not quite perps. So I guess you need perps because they need to just be rolling all the time, right? So
They're constantly rolling, yeah.
yeah.
You definitely need perps for it to work. So that's why it only really exists right now for centralized exchanges in crypto.
Cool. Shall we? Do you want to call it a day?
Yeah, I don't know how long the show was. I felt like we went over there, didn't we?
Well, I think when we came back on, I think we've done under an hour.
From when we came back on,
it feels a lot longer because of all the tech issues at the beginning. So,
yeah. If you have any, we'll end it there. I'll probably come on here next week, or I may end up doing my own kind of one earlier in the day, and then we convene once or twice a week to do it.
I think that's a good. I think that's quite a good cadence actually. It's quite nice to do Fridays. Just a bit more.
Yeah, Fridays is good. Fridays is good.
Lighthearted, yeah.
And then you can chat about ponds every single day next week, and I'll try and keep my one buried.
Oh god.
I'm gonna read some of the messages below that tweet.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. They're pretty bad. I mean, I can even bring it up. I kind of like their tweets and posts, but I know they're just luring me into it.
I put a tweet out yesterday saying, "Going on Rekt Mkts tomorrow." Someone replied, "OSF needs your guidance." He started just to fling shit at the walls at this point.
I read that. I was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I love that one. This guy has heard enough about ponds this week.
I think it was when I bought some chowder earlier in the week that he was just like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" And I was like, "Yeah, probably right."
Man, you got a lot of engagement on that.
On the
20K.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, one thing I would say, and the goal of this was just to elevate the brand a bit and push Rekt products, etc., in front of people. Get these on Amazon if you're in the US. The engagement on my post. If I just kept talking about Rekt drinks every single day, I realized that it's just the same 100 people listening to me on it, and I'd get like 1,000.
Oh, I completely agree.
Yeah,
I think that view, where like can't talk about anything else, but the thing is like the thing that actually means as a creator, people stop listening.
Yeah, you stop. There's a balance, like
an audience.
Yeah, there is a balance, and it's tricky. And it worked for me. It worked for us last year, and it got us to a level. But then I think you have to be dynamic to get to the next level. Like when you realize you plateau, then you need to, I think, make a change to unlock new levels, basically. So let's see.
Also, you're a great trader. So the idea that
it's not what the numbers say, mate.
I haven't looked at the numbers.
I read another comment which was like, it was something like OSF's lost money since he started trading, and Rekt is down 90%. Why do people not call this shit out? Or something like that. I was like, oh god. That's a slightly daunting thing about this, because obviously I have made a lot of money trading crypto, but when you're just here and you see your day-to-day numbers, and I think although I've made a lot of money, I've had massive losses as well, like RTR and that kind of stuff, and people just never remember the losses; they only remember the wins. But I think with this number every day, it's sort of a bit like, people are like, what's
having a book?
Yeah, and also like you have FOMO, and you have all these like Zoomers out there making 100K days all the time and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not going to have the ability to do that. Like I can't fully trench 24/7 like these guys are.
Yeah.
But you have that too, and it's sort of like everyone's like, why does anyone care what this guy has to say? Because he's like, I saw another comment on today's stream. It says, "It looks like your year-to-date P&L is plus 7K. Is that right?" I was like, "Yep." This is since just got back into the green. I thought you'd congratulate me. That's since May, so it's not like full year to date, but I mean, I don't really care. I think that's part of the fun of it, really. For me, I find it funny more than anything else. So
that doesn't daunt me that much, if I'm honest. Like, because we used to do that as a trader. Like, mean, people don't know this, but like every single day as a trader, your P&L gets posted to kind of everyone in the whole bank. So like it would go out and you get an email of how everyone did that day. So you're kind of judged a lot. I'm not really that. I'm less worried about the fact of being judged.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the beauty of Rekt Markets.
Exactly.
You get some pro traders on there and see who's actually any good.
Exactly.
Because I think FOMO is slightly different. Like I can never be on the top of the FOMO list, and I'm not even going to try because this is such a different form of trading.
Yeah,
it's so different. And the perps, like I said, I don't trade perps like that. So this feels like I can trade the way I trade, and you can judge if I'm a good trader or not.
Yeah,
maybe I'll have a shit year now, but.
All right, well let's call it there. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks Mando for coming on, gracing us with your presence on a Friday. I hope everyone has a good weekend. See you in the Robinhood order books, everyone.
Bye guys.